two architectural buildings that are domes. So the connection between them is being a dome. First of all, it's called Pantheon, and the second one is the Dome of the Rock. This image you see here is a Pantheon that was made in Roman Empire in the late period of the Roman Empire, which is the imperial period. So, first of all, I'm going to give you a brief background information about this, like when it was made, which I just said, but like where, the artist, and then I'm going to describe the structure from outside to inside. So first of all, this is a Roman temple. The function of it is a temple of all the gods. The artist is not known like certainly, but it is supposed to be Apollodorus. There's also a bath inside of this, so like the function is also that it is a bath. Okay, you see there are some columns outside of the rectangular part, which are made of gray and rose pink granite. And the rest of the building, the circular part, the dome, and the rest is like concrete. So here you see the whole image of the dome. You see that the dome is being hid by 3 walls around it and with a courtyard, and you can see that right in the courtyard there's a statue that was probably stolen from the Egyptians. Okay, moving on to the inside of the dome. So while the outside, the exterior is concrete of the dome, the inside is painted marble. And in the inside, which is a specific attribute of the dome, is that we get to see the oculus. The oculus is the part of the building to have some light. So in here, there's no artificial light. The only light is the sunlight that comes from the oculus. Then we can see some squarish, windowish pieces that is called coffer. These coffers are there to, it's a dome, so it goes like circular high up. To prevent the dome collapsing, they had to decrease the weight of the ceiling. So they had to do something because they do not have any columns that are holding the dome. So that's another important thing about this dome, because it is not supported by any kind of columns. So in order to support itself, they use these coffers, these squares, to decrease the weight of the ceiling. And also by this way, it's giving a pretty look to it, and 2, it's enlarging the space, so it's not like super flat. It's enlarging the space a little by adding some squarish spaces over there. Okay, so here we can see that the dome is standing by itself. The columns are like all in the rectangular area, which is not supporting anything about the dome. And now, right here, we have the Dome of the Rock. So the Dome of the Rock is in Jerusalem, that's how you say it, hopefully. Domes actually became kind of like an architectural symbol by the end of the 7th century in Islamic world. So this is kind of like a symbol of a religious purpose, which is to show the gloriousness of the Islam to the other religions. and also it's a shrine. So the outside material of this dome, this dome was actually made in 691 CE, but like it was damaged, destroyed, and rebuilt several times. So like whenever they rebuilt it, they added some other things. For example, in Ottoman Empire, when it was collapsed a little, but because of the earthquakes, they rebuilt it with tiles. Tiles are these little blue stones. And then it was again damaged in the modern period. So when they had rebuilt it in the modern period, they covered the whole outside of the dome with aluminum bronzelete and gold leaf. Okay. Moving on to the interior part, you get to see the first thing that is actually very different from the other one is that we can see these arcades. Arcades are the architectural sculptures that are, here you get to see the columns and an arch. Together, this is called an arcade. So here you can see that the dome is being structured on the arcades, on a circular arcade. So it's depending on these. On the other side, on Pantheon, it was just standing by itself and like depending on the coffers. But here, it's actually standing on the columns arcades. And the inside is also different from the other one. It was like designed with mosaic, faience, and marble. We saw marble in Pantheon as well, but here we have a little bit more of more material. We can see that the dome was actually structured on octagonal structure. Well, rumor has it, people say that the dome was actually added later. So the octagonal part was already existing, but then the dome was added on top. So here we get to see a closer look to the arcades, which are actually holding the dome. And a little bit of plan of it.
Can I ask her something? Okay, so you talked about like